Hello, happy April 3rd. So excited to have you on today's call. This is Getting Started with Contacts and all about email marketing. So super excited to have you on the call with me. We're going to go ahead and get started here. Let me just get the slides going. So welcome. My name is Tamara Jaros, and I am your host for this webinar series that I am putting on, all about getting started with Constant Contact, learning all that you possibly can, really to kind of help you have the most success with your account and email marketing in general. So I do have my own business where I work with small business owners who want to be able to heighten their relationships using digital marketing and kind of building those relationships. Email is one, social media, websites, kind of all of that online digital stuff. In addition to that, I have partnered with Constant Contact as an authorized local expert and local product trainer, which means that I can do these types of trainings, whether they're online or in person, and really help and support those Constant Contact customers in the field locally that's local to me. And so if you wanted to have someone who just you need a little help, I'm a resource for you. So I will be recording this webinar and also sending the follow-up. So you'll get my contact information, but if you want to reach out to me, here's my phone number and my email address. All of the webinars are going to be recorded, and also you'll get the recording plus the PowerPoint slides. So I shared with you that this was a webinar series. So this is kind of the outline. We have April 3rd today, talking all about contacts, importing into your account, permissions, making sure that you're getting, kind of going through the right steps and before you just add contacts to your account, understanding the difference between lists and tags, also sharing the list growth tools that Constant Contact offers within the account that you have. This is really the foundation. If you really want to be successful, your contacts is where it starts. You can have a lot of great information that you want to share, but if you don't have the contacts in your list that really want to receive your emails or that are opening your emails, maybe you didn't get permission, then they're not going to get the information. So I always like to start with contacts. It's really the foundation in getting started and really ensuring that you are getting folks that are on your list that want to receive your information. So next week, we're going to talk about campaigns. We're going to talk about also reports on April 17th, and then on the 24th, we'll talk about some advanced features. So let's go ahead and get started and kind of what are we going to cover today? So we're going to talk about permissions. We're going to talk about importing your contact list, segmenting your list for best success, lists versus tags, and then we're going to go through the list building tools. At the end, I will be going into my account and showing you kind of like step by step in the account. So if some of this doesn't make sense, we'll go in. If you have any questions, definitely type them into that chat box window, and then I'll be happy to answer those questions that you may have. So let's go ahead and get started. When I'm talking about permission, it's really that express permission, which is ideal, meaning that your contact has expressed to you that they'd like to receive your email communications. That can be through a web page sign up. That could also be through a confirmed opt-in process that you have set up, and it could also be in that paper form. So all of these features are available to you. You can create a web page sign up form within Constant Contact. You can also do the opt-in process, which is kind of like that double opt-in where you have someone says, yes, I want to receive your email. Then it's an email sent to them that says, please confirm your interest in receiving communications. And then the paper form is that if you have someone who maybe you have a register for your business because people are going to be doing true checkouts because it's a brick and mortar, you can always do the paper sign up form. Sometimes I've seen it at a trade show or vendor show where people ask people to sign up for their newsletter. So you can do it that way too. Nothing wrong with that, except the only thing to kind of be aware of is that if you can't read someone's handwriting. So it's not bad, but it's kind of one of those things. So truly express permission is when an individual has opted in or specifically requested to get your emails somehow, some way using the tools available. Now, there's also what's called implied permission. So I meet you at a networking event and we exchange business cards. So this is going to be where you get my information. I don't necessarily say, yes, I want to receive your newsletter or email communications from you, but I'm giving you my contact information. So this is going to be through business cards, through a verbal request, maybe that fishbowl, again, like at the trade show. So you have some type of relationship with the individual. It's not like you don't know them at all, but it's not, it's kind of that assumed, yes, we're exchanging information, and so therefore, if you want to send something to me, you can do that. I do want to kind of point out to you that as we kind of go through, which I'll share, is the CAN-SPAM laws are available here for the US. The CASL laws are for Canada. You really want to be cautious when it comes to implied permission in Canada. You want to make sure that you're getting that true expressed permission from your list. So just keep that in mind. You want to make sure you get that documentation. It's going to help you be most successful. So, then the question is, well, if I can get implied and I can get expressed, well, who can't I email to, right? So I want to make sure that it's very clear so that you can have the best success with your account, with the context that you have, that you don't have any issues with constant contact because you're pulling in from different areas that aren't allowed. So here's the list. So any purchased, rented, or appended list of email addresses from any source, no matter what the source claims of getting permission and that you can email them. You really want to make sure that you stay away from purchased or rented lists. If I were to come to your house, knock on the door, would you let me in? Chances are you wouldn't, because why? I'm a stranger. The same principle applies with email marketing. If you add a stranger to your list, they're not going to know who you are, and they're going to either delete your email before even opening, they're going to just unsubscribe from your list if they do open it. So just keep that in mind, that those purchased and rented lists aren't really the best way to go if you want to be successful. Any kind of shared list of email addresses that truly haven't given you permission to email, like a trade show attendee list. So the organizer of the trade show says, we can give you the email addresses of those folks that attended. So these are people that may or may not have even stopped by your booth. You want to, again, kind of skip over that because they really haven't given you that permission. Maybe you have an affiliate company that says that they'll share their list with you. Again, say thank you, but no thank you as far as sending an email to them. Any non-specific or role email addresses like marketing at, sales at, info at, admin at, those aren't going to go to specific people, right? They're just going to be those generic roles that may or may not get the email inbox checked. So you really want to hone in and get a specific email address for the person that you're wanting to reach out to and stay connected with. Any distribution or mailing list, these are lists where an email address will connect to other mail servers like a voter's registration, public directory, membership association, or chamber of commerce. So if you are out and about and they're like, hey, would you like the list? Say thank you, but no thank you as far as sending emails to them. Next one up here is any email address that is obtained by surfing or scraping web pages. Again, you can go to like the chamber or membership website and you can get access to lots of different email addresses, but those folks don't know you. There's no relationship there, so you really want to stay away from that. Also, with social media, you can get email addresses that way too. But again, you really want to stay away from pulling those email addresses of folks that you personally have not met or don't know. It's going to not serve you well as far as sending email campaigns to them anyway. So just stay away from that. Now, once you do have the list of people that you want to be able to send your emails to, you want to then start to think about how are you going to import these contact lists into your account. So there's a handful of different ways that you can bring in contacts into your account. If you click on the Add Contacts button, you'll see you can type one in at a time, or type in or paste in multiple contacts, or you can upload from a file. The best practice is uploading from a file, usually from an Excel type file where you can have the column for the first name, column for the last name, a column for the email address, and then any other information that you want to share. It's a lot easier to navigate through those columns in Excel and update or change or fix things than it is to go individually into each person's account inside Constant Contact. But I'm going to go through uploading a contact list so you'll be able to see how those steps follow and how they work. But ultimately, that's really the best way. If you have one contact at a time and you wanted to upload one at a time, it's fine. It's just if you have quite a few, I don't recommend if you have quite a few. All right. So once you're adding folks to your account, the best practice is truly to segment your contact list. And I'm going to give you the example that if I were a pet store shop owner and I have a business where I'm selling pet stuff, to people, I want to be able to make sure that the communications that I'm sending to my audience is going to fit their needs. So if I'm sending my, monthly specials that include all of the different products that I have available, not just exclusive to dogs or cats or fish, then it's great. I'm going to click all my contact lists and I'm going to send to everybody. But if I have a dog special that I want to share with just my dog owners, then I want to make sure that I have that dog owners list where I can then send targeted emails to those folks that are truly dog owners. And you can do this in a couple of different ways. First up is on the left here, you'll see join our list. This is a web sign up form that you can create inside Constant Contact where you can create those lists that people could check which boxes they want to be a part of. When they go to your website, click on the web sign up form, they're going to see the lists that are available. In this case, the examples are, I want to receive all the news and deals, in-store sales and promotions only, new products online and in the store, online sales and promotions only. So you can check the boxes that you're interested in. Your audience would do that. And then that way they're helping you with segmenting, getting the information that they want to receive. You can also segment your list in other ways. Maybe it's going to be gender. Maybe you have male services or female services or things like that where you're going to have it based on gender or age. Maybe you have a certain membership type. Maybe you have interests based on, what they're interested in. Depending on what your business is, maybe you have, geographic locations where you want to segment folks, or maybe they attended an event that you were the speaker at and you want to be able to segment that group of people. No matter how you do it, you really do want to stop and focus on how your list is made up and how you can best communicate the messages that are specific to your audience. What's going to happen is that if you are that dog owner and I keep sending you specials or promotions on fish supplies or fishes or fish aquariums or supplies for your fish, or hey, we're having a fish swap, right? You're going to eventually either delete my emails because they're not going to be relevant to you. And then also what you're going to do is eventually unsubscribe. If I'm not sending you the messages that you are wanting to hear, what happens is that you will unsubscribe. So segmenting your list is going to be helpful for you to make sure that your audience is going to want to continue to receive information from you, that they're going to want to open the email and then take action, because we are sending email campaigns to people so that they can take action. Now you can determine what that action is, but it's all based on what it is that you want them to do. So if you have questions about segmenting your contact list or you're not sure how to do that, definitely reach out to me and we can talk about the different groups or different reasons why you would be sending email campaigns, and we can work on that. Now, it's a lot easier when you're setting up your account to start segmenting your list. It's harder when you already have a list established, but it still is possible of ways that you can segment your list, and I'll show you how to do that a couple different ways. You can create a survey and then send it out to your audience to kind of get some feedback from them. You can put in different clicks so that when people are clicking on different things within inside the campaigns that you're sending, where you can get information that way. There's also some poll questions that you can ask. So there's some different ways to segment, but again, if you're stuck, reach out to me and I'm going to be happy to be able to help you. So within Constant Contact, there's lists and there's tags. So a contact can be on any list that you add them to, but then they can also have tags. If this is something where you're like, you know what, I want to keep it simple, I don't want to get confusing, then I would say focus in on lists. But inside each list, you could then start having those tags. So again, like I shared about my pet store, I could have the general list of general interest newsletter list, which would be my list. And then I could have my dog owners tagged as dog owner or cat owner or fish owner. And that way, when I'm sending out a promotion for just those folks, for just either cats or supplies or cat stuff, then I could then go general interest cat owner, and then I can segment them out. and I'm only sending to those folks, which I'll show you in the demo portion. So lists are public, and what I mean by that is that when you're creating those web sign up forms, those are the lists that people can see. Tags are private in the sense that you are the only ones that'll see that information of how you have them tagged. So keep that in mind, that no one else sees the tag unless they're inside your Constant Contact account. Lists are for active contacts only. So anyone that may have unsubscribed, they're going to be put into an unsubscribed the category. They'll no longer be on one of your lists. Whereas tags always stay with your contacts. So no matter where they are, whether they're inactive or active, they'll always have those tags associated with their contact information. Anytime you want to send an email campaign, you're going to select a list, and then you can also select a list and tag if you wanted to. So that's how I was sharing about if you wanted to send to your general interest and then cat owners. Lists are unlimited. Actually, they go up to 1,000 lists that you can have. I don't recommend having 1,000 lists, but you could if you wanted to. And tags are unlimited, so you can have as many tags as you would like. Again, you want to be consistent with the tags. When you're putting in your tags, they need to be consistent as far as if it's a capital letter at the beginning of your word, if it's plural or singular, keep it consistent so that it knows, hey, this is the tagged group you want to put them into. But this is an option for you if you wanted to segment a little bit deeper. I had shared with you within Constant Contact that there are a handful of different list growth tools that you can utilize. The web sign-up form is one of those. A web sign-up form allows people to easily sign up for your lists from your website. So Constant Contact creates a default, but then you can customize it and you can add in your colors, your font, different font styles. You can also add in your logo to kind of really customize it so that when someone does click on it, it relates to your business. There's also the Facebook sign up form where you can click to link that to your Facebook business page, and that way anytime someone goes to your Facebook page, they can see that that's an option for you, and then they can sign up to also not only connect with you on social media, but they can also then start to receive your email communications. The text to join is another way that you can get more folks to sign up for your contacts, for your email communication. This is the opportunity to create a keyword that when someone texts that keyword to the 22828 number, then they're going to be added to a contact list. The only information that's collected is the email address, no matter if you change the line of text that they're receiving or not. It's only going to collect the email. So just keep that in mind. The other is that you cannot change your keyword frequently. Every 6 months is the times that you can change it. With text to join, it's great if you're at like a trade show or networking event where you're meeting people and quickly wanting to make those exchanges happen. Usually that's when it's best, or even at the register. With the text to join, it's for US subscribers only. So if you are outside of the United States, it's not going to work, just FYI. And then also, you want to be mindful that when you're collecting that information, that you make it easy for someone to put in that keyword. You don't want to get some crazy combinations or abbreviations and making it difficult. So keep that in mind, that's a great way to also join, have folks join your list. Constant Contact has recently created a WordPress sign-up form for those folks that have a website that's built on the WordPress platform. There's also the QR code sign-up form. So if you wanted to create a QR code, you can most certainly do that. And then that way, anytime someone clicks or has the QR code reader on their mobile device, they can then enter in the information that you're looking for. You have more opportunities to customize the information that you're collecting with a QR code, but one of the disadvantages is that unless someone has the QR code reader on their device, they're not going to be able to sign up through a QR code. And then also there are apps from the apps marketplace from Constant Contact. I'll show you where this is located too. But there are a handful of different apps that you might be interested in. iCapture works with the iPad to capture names, emails, even preferences from customers and add them to your Constant Contact account automatically. So this is great if you, again, are at some type of vendor show, trade show where people are coming to your booth. You want to capture their information, just hand them the iPad. They can easily create their contact information, and then from there, you can get their contact information without having to retype it, like from a paper sign-up form or at the register. There is a free version and a upgraded where you could pay for the iCapture, the app. So just keep that in mind. You can look for both. Easy Texting is an SMS marketing platform that's powerful and easy to use. It's when mobiles, you want to be able to send out text messaging and kind of connect those two together. So this may be one of those that you want to think about as if you're wanting to do more texting with your audience. There is a charge for this one, so just keep that in mind that some of these apps aren't necessarily free. You may need to pay. Privy works with website pop-ups and landing pages. So if you're wanting to be able to incorporate that on your website, that might be one of those apps that you want to consider to take a look at. QuickBooks Online, if you're using that as your accounting software, you can auto import your contacts into your Constant Contact account. So that might be a nice way to kind of blend those two together since you already are using QuickBooks Online. GenBook is basically enables online appointment scheduling, promotion of your reputation, manage your business, staff, customers online. So there's lots of different features in GenBook. You would need to have a GenBook account in order to utilize and have those pair together, but it's a great resource if you're looking to do a little bit more, if you have a reason for online scheduling. Zapier lets you connect so that you can get SMS, email, and chat alerts for new subscribers, save new subscribers to your CRM like Salesforce, or take notes. So just kind of some different apps to take a look at and to consider. You don't have to, but they are available because they've set it up to where there'll be integration with Constant Contact. So always the best way to learn a little bit more is to see it in action. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I'm going to, just for a moment, stop this screen share and then kind of go here to be able to exit out and then get into Constant Contact so that we can take a look at the demo. Let me just click here onto, I have a notes where I like to list all of the things where we want to be able to take a look at and learn a little bit more. So first up, when we log into our account, this is what we see, the dashboard. If we want to kind of come across here in this menu bar up at the top, you'll see that there are Contacts tab, and this is where you'd want to add in any of those contacts that you may have simply by clicking on this gold or yellow button here. You can type in one at a time if you wanted to. Again, I don't recommend it unless you truly have one contact that you want to add. I do want to point out here a couple of different things. This is a contacts form that everyone has once you do add them. So I want to kind of share with you a little bit of information here. When you do add in contacts into your account, if you are someone who would like to send an email that has a greeting at the top that might say, "Hello, Tamara, dear Tamara, hi, Tamara," any of that where it pulls in the first name, this first name field needs to be filled in and it needs to be accurate. So that's why there's the importance, if you want to be able to do that, of having the first name column in your Excel file and also here in this area here. If you happen to have Dr. Tamara Jaros, then if you include that doctor, when you include the greetings tag, it'll say, "Hello, Dr. Tamara," which may or may not be how you want it to be laid out, right? So you may want to take out those positions or salutations of Mr. or Mrs. out of that column and truly keep it to the first name field only, because this is where it'll pull the information in if you like to use the greeting tag. Also, here's where you can put your tags in if you have specific tags. I have a handful of tags in here already, so I could just simply click on all of these that if I wanted to. Here we have cat owner, dog owner. We're going to keep it consistent. So then there always will be a part of that. So again, you can add these in here as you go. Then you're going to put in the email address, whether it's home, work, or other. Then here we have the permission to send. So you want to make sure that that box is checked that you do have permission to send. And then you're going to select the list that that person would need to be added to. You can create a new list or simply just click on the different lists that you may have, then click apply. Click Save, and then your contact is now saved. You can also add in additional information, so you can customize it or you can use what's already here. So this is really nice if you have additional information that you want to use within Constant Contact. But I will say the best way to do it is truly by uploading from a file. So I want to go through the steps as far as uploading from a file. So you're going to browse your computer. I do have some sample contact lists that we can use. So we're just going to go here to, we'll go to one that's kind of current. We'll go with this one. It's going to pull up the information that's inside your Excel file. So as you can see here, I have the first name and then the first name here. So this first name here that's just below these letters under the darker blue, this is what was inside my Excel file. Up above here in the drop down, this is from Constant Contact. And so you'll see here where it says matched, here in the pink column, it says unmatched. And that's because within Constant Contact, they have phone home, kind of like ET, phone work, and phone mobile. And so you need to select which phone number that this is going to. If you're unsure, you can always then create your own field and you can just put in phone and you don't have to worry about designating which one it is. Or if you want to select work, you could simply just click phone and work and then it shows matched. Here is a separate field that I created, whether they attended an event or not. So again, I need to go through here and I need to either create a custom one if it's here or select the custom fields that I've already created. So this is really nice if you wanted to be able to add additional information. Now let's say inside your Constant Contact account that, you know what, this column here, I really don't need. I can put on skip column, and now this column of information will not come over inside Constant Contact. I can do the same thing for the phone number. If I'm going to do something where I don't really need that column, I can simply just skip that column, and now the only things that are going to be added into Constant Contact is the first name, last name, email, company, and zip code. Maybe I want to sort some things based on zip code or something like that, so keep that one. But you don't necessarily have to create a new Excel file if you have one already created. Once you have set that up, all your columns are matched, then you can simply click on continue. And here's where you're going to either select the list that you want these folks to go to or create the new list that you want them to be added to. So I'm just going to put here contacts, and I'm going to put the date for 3/2017 and then click create. Now these contacts will all be added into this contact list. Over here I can add in the tags if I wanted to. If I do it here, then every person inside that contact list will get the same tag. I could also put the tags in my Excel file and then import them if they're different. So in the case of my pet store, if not everybody will be a dog, fish, and cat owner, right? So I can segment them and I can put that information into the Excel file and bring it in. As long as I have the tag already listed here, then I can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I'd have to create my tags and then import my contact list. So here, if I did this, everyone's going to be a cat owner, everyone's going to be a designer type of thing. So I'm going to skip that one, and then I'm just going to click on here, upload, and then these contacts would be uploaded into my account. So since I really don't want to do that, I'm just going to skip that step. And then I'm going to come back here to contacts. So leave here. And then now, so that's the best ways as far as to uploading contacts. Another way I also like is the paste feature. So sometimes I don't really necessarily need to save the Excel file of information. I can just simply paste them in here. So same thing for you. If you have a couple people where you just want to, gather their information quickly, you can simply paste it right into this section. As long as there's the spaces, then it'll automatically get into the correct field placement. So you don't have to worry about that. So here's the contacts. If we come down here, the left side, you'll see email lists. You can add in, again, up to 1,000 email lists if you want to, but you really want to be, aware of those lists, keeping good information. You can add in lists simply by just clicking on that plus. I don't know if it went too fast, so click plus, and then you can add in the name here. If we go down a little farther, here's the tags, and you can see that there's lots of different tags here that you can choose from. And then you can also add tags by simply clicking on that plus too. So that is the contacts, if we wanted to be able to add in new contacts. You'll also see this no permission set. And so sometimes what happens is that when people sign up for an event that I'm hosting, there's really no permission that they've given me. So they'll be listed here. So from time to time, you may want to check that no permission set and then make sure that they are there. If they're there, that you give the permission if depending on the relationship you have with that individual. Unsubscribe, anyone who is unsubscribed from your account because they've clicked on that box, they'll be listed here in the unsubscribe. This is good information. If you ever decide to switch from the current email provider that you're using, you'll want to make sure that you pull this list and make sure that you import it into your account and then click on the unsubscribe so that way those folks would not be, because you change email providers doesn't mean that you can then now send to them. They don't, if they've unsubscribed once, they've really unsubscribed always. So just keep that in mind that if you do decide to switch, you gather that information. But once someone unsubscribes, they're always unsubscribed unless they decide to resubscribe themselves. So they've gone to your website and they sign up on your web sign up form. They go to your Facebook page and you've set up the Facebook app and they can sign up through the Facebook app. Text to join, they can do it that way too. So they can resubscribe as long as they resubscribe themselves. So I want to just click here over on the list growth tools and walk you through some of those list growth tools that we talked about. So the sign up form here is this default one that's been created. But if you want to create your own, simply click on create a sign up form. The form name is going to be the name that you give it so that you can always reference it back. So if you have certain web sign up forms for different landing pages on your website, so maybe we want to have a dog page sign up, a dog offer or a dog, something like that, then only you will see that. Your audience will not. Down here, you may want to do something different as far as the title here is that, kind of, bow wow, check out this offer. And then you can put a description in as to what you'd like your description to be about why someone would want to sign up. And then here's where you can select the lists that people are going to choose. If you select only one, then there's no options for them. So what I mean by that here is that here we have, bow wow, check out this offer, sign up, and then email and first name. There's no option to segment and pick the lists they want to be into. So if I wanted to do something like this, and obviously I'm picking this, but it doesn't necessarily go with my landing page, but if I wanted to pick a few different ones here, maybe in-store events, I can click on preview form and now you can see that there's dog, cat, fish, in-store events, and as well as monthly newsletter. So now what happens is when someone signs up on this page, they can simply click the boxes that they want to receive information from you with. So this is kind of a nice way to segment your list, and that way you can, it helps you and it helps them. As we go through, we click on continue. This is where you can select the different information that you want to collect from the audience that you're creating. So I usually like first and last names. You want to be cautious here as far as, again, if I came to your door and you recognized me and I started asking you for your first name, your last name, your phone number, your company name, your birth date, your website, your anniversary, you might be a little cautious and not want to share that information with me. So really get only the information that you absolutely need. And then once you start to develop the relationship, then you can start to ask for more information. Maybe when they want to purchase from you and then you'll get their address. Maybe you ask them in a separate email, what's your birth date? We'd love to send you some birthday specials. You can do that as you build the relationship. So click on those that you want to collect, add, and now you can see that the information has been added. You can set it to where it's required, then click on continue, and this is where you can add in your logo and change your font color and background color. So I can change this to, maybe we'll change it to that, and then we can click preview form and you can see how the text is now changed color, the logo's there, the information is required, and that the lists are available. So that's creating that web sign up form. Once you click finish, here I'll click finish for you. Once you click finished, then you can come right here to your additional web sign-up forms and click on the actions down here, and you can click on embed code, and this is going to be the HTML code that you can add to the website for on the particular page where you want them to be able to see the form. So any questions on that, type that into the chat box window, and I can either go through it again or I can answer those questions. So on the left here, or sorry, on the right here, you'll see the more tools, and you'll see Facebook sign up form. So this is where you can go through the steps to add the app for your Facebook page. You can kind of go through here and you can see that there's some different options here. I've already set this up, so I don't necessarily need to do it again. And then you need to make sure that your Facebook page is open and you are an admin to where you can add this to your account. Then once you have that set up, then you can go through the steps as far as adding the Facebook icon to your Facebook page. And I can go there and show you what that looks like. I didn't have that pulled up just quite yet, but I can show you what that looks like. Of course, it's not going to come up fast enough for me to be able to show you. Add a button. Likes, shops, and this is where I'm like, connect with us. Okay, so it's not here as fast as I like it to be here, but here's the form where you can connect with us and you can gather their information. So you can customize this and get the information again that you want in order for them to connect with you through Facebook. WordPress sign up, I don't have a WordPress site myself, but if you do, this is where you go through the steps to create that form in order to get the sign up form for your WordPress site. Text to sign up, again, it's going to be creating that keyword. You can only change the keyword every 6 months if you do want to change it, but I set it up here, email 2017. Obviously, I'm going to keep that for the whole year. I don't necessarily need to change it, but if you were to text that keyword email 2017 to the 22828, then you'll get a text message that says, "Hello, please reply with your email address in order to join our mailing list." You can customize and change out what the text message says. Again, if you change it to include first and last name, the way the system is set up, it'll only capture the email address. So just keep that in mind, depending on how you customize it, email is going to be the only thing. Then you'll select which list that you want your folks to go into. So as long as you have that set up, it'll already be there. You cannot add the contact list. So if you wanted to create a separate contact list for this section here, you want to set it up before setting up your text to join. And then you're going to, once they text that keyword, they're going to get a then text message that says, "Thanks, you're now subscribed to our mailing list. Please watch your email for our newsletter." Again, you can customize this message. If those really aren't the words that you want to share, you can most certainly customize it. Couple of things again on the text messaging. This is not to do text messaging for all other communication. It's just to be able to have folks join your contact list. Once you click Save Changes, then this is going to be active and ready to go. You can turn it on, turn it off. You can create a sign. I think that there are prettier signs than this, but you can customize a sign if you wanted to do that too. So then into the contacts tab, you'll also see on the, on the list growth tab down below, you'll see this apps marketplace. And this is where in here you can pull in all of the different apps that you may want to be, considering or looking for inside your account. So it's kind of a cool way to get more information. There's also the welcome email here, update the profile email, sign up and unsubscribe updates. So you can customize that as well right here from this list growth tools section. Now, also, I had mentioned that there is a way that you can segment your list, and I want to kind of just talk a little bit about that. We're going to overlap a little bit into the reportings, but this is the best way to kind of show you that segmenting, and I want to really encourage you to start thinking about how that may look and feel going forward. So here, this is one where we have some clicks on this webinar one here where there's 11 clicks. So I'm going to go here to this one. And I want to show you that if I go down here, you'll see that there are 4 links that I added that where people clicked on them. So if I wanted to segment people, I can do it based on where they're clicking. So in this case, I had 11 people click on my website where we talked about email marketing success for January. So this could be one where I can segment them by simply clicking on the 11. And then I can highlight these folks and I can create a new list based on their interest of what they clicked on. So simply click on the box here and I can manage lists and I can add to a list if I wanted to or create a new one. So here's where I may want to do a January 2017 email success. Email success. So I can create that new list of people. And now in this case, it may not be relevant, but if you had some different products or services that you're offering inside your campaigns and you want to be able to kind of segment people based on what they're clicking on, that would be the steps that you would go through in order to be able to segment them based on interest. So just kind of want to share that with you on that. If we go back into contacts, you can import and export. I showed you already how to import, but if you wanted to export a list, let me go here where there's some folks listed here. So here we have this top group here where there are 5 people. If I wanted to export that list, I can simply click on the list and then click here on the X and then I can export them out. And you can then pull which information you want to pull into your list. And then you can, if you wanted to be able to make sure that you're getting all the information about them, click on export, creates a CSV file for you. And then that way you can, if you need to change any information or update any information, it's already there and updated for you. Any questions? We've got a handful of folks on the call today, so this is a good opportunity to type in those questions that you may have. Again, I want to share with you, I'll go back into that, but right now, here is our schedule. So today, all about contacts. We talked about setting up your contacts database, segmenting your list, importing, making sure that we have permission from your list and understanding what those permissions are, the difference between lists and tags, benefits from list growth tools. So that's what we've covered today. If you have other questions that relates to contacts, please type them into that chat box window. We can make sure to answer those questions. Next week, it's all about campaigns. And we're going to go through the process of truly building out a campaign. If you have a campaign that you'd like a makeover on, send that to me and then I will use yours as the example for next week. I started doing that and there are some folks that are like, hey, that was really nice of you to, give my campaign a makeover. So they kind of liked that. And then reports and advanced features. So I want to say thank you. I'm going to come back here to this in just a moment. One last thing that I wanted to do that I didn't mention, and I'm completely drawing a blank on it. Let me see. Let me go back here to this list here. It was contacts and it was permissions. Oh, shoot. I had something in my mind and I wanted to be able to share that with you. I cannot think about what that is. It'll come to me and I'll share it with you. So we have a couple of questions that have come in. So once we start up using web sign-up form, is there a way to export who subscribed from which channels, Facebook versus our newsletter? Again, you set up those, if you set up those lists here and you link them, then that's how you'll be able to know which groups they're coming from. So if it's Facebook, you'll create a Facebook group. If it is from the web page, you'd set up a web page, and then that way you would know where they're coming from. Here's a question. We'd also be interested in exporting a loss of who subscribed between one date and another regardless of our channel list that they opted for. So I'm not sure if I understand the question. So you're interested in exporting a list of who subscribed between the dates. So when you go into your account, tell me if I've got this right. So So here in this case, I don't have any examples as far as I think I understand what you're asking. So if you had folks a web sign up form, you'd want to see the difference between if it's January to February, February to March, as to how many new subscribers that you have gotten. If that is the case, okay, if that's the case, then what you can do is go into the list that you have set up for the Facebook page or for the web sign up form, and then you can pull in, thinking. You can pull in that report. Unfortunately, I think that it would be one of those where you'd have to export it in order to really manipulate the data. This is not becoming quick enough. If it's not a lot, you'll be able to see when they were added to your account and how they were added. These folks were truly added by me, but if they're signing up from the website, text to join, or Facebook, this would be the source and it would list it here. But you can see how some are January, some are May, some are February. You would just need to really export that in order to, do the data the best way that you are looking to get the answers. Within Constant Contact in the reporting, that's not a report that is available. So just the way that those are set up, it's just not an option. Sorry about that. Any other questions on that? Okay, questions. Trying to think of that other last thing that I wanted to share with you before we go. Contacts tab. Drawing a blank. So if you, a couple of other little things as we go through, if you want to change how you're viewing the lists here, you can simply click on the boxes and it can change from the name, email, company, city, state to the date added and the source. So you can change those options there. You can change how you are sorting by name, so ascending or descending by first name or last name. I usually do last name just because I think it's easier. And then there's also the option to click here to do the searching. So if I wanted to search based on someone's name, I could search that way. You'll see all of the Tamaras that come up. You could also search on advanced, where you're searching for a particular contact, especially if you have a lot of people in there. You can type in by first name, last name, any of these informations here, and then it'll pull up those folks. I remember what I wanted to share with you. Earlier we talked about lists and tags, and this is going to be kind of, again, overlapping a little bit into when we're sending a campaign, but I want to show you that when we are going to schedule a campaign, the difference when we're scheduling and we're sending it to a list and or narrowing by tag. So that was what I wanted to share with you. So here I'm just going to go in here, I'm going to pick monthly newsletter. Or actually, let's go here to Pet Store Customer, and now I can narrow by tag. So it's going to pull up the tags that are available, and I have some different options here. So maybe I only want to send to the cat owners, and I can send only to contacts who are also tagged with, or don't send to contacts who are also tagged with. So in this case, I want to send to those that are only tagged with the cat owner. So it applies the filter. So here's where you can then, instead of it being 21 folks, it's only going to be 9. So that's how you can segment and narrow your tags and sending and who you're sending it to. So that's what I wanted to share with you. That's what I saw. Awesome. Okay, great. More questions coming in. Okay, is there a way to edit the safe unsubscribe link in the mailing? No, that is, again, within the CAN-SPAM laws, the unsubscribe is a feature that is required in order to be compliant with CAN-SPAM. So Constant Contact sets that up for you, and that way it's always going to be there and as part of it. What do you want to change? And then maybe there could be a workaround. So tell me what it is that you want to change, and then maybe there might be a suggestion for it, because you can turn it on. You can turn on certain things and turn some things off. So I can show you what that is. Let me go over here to the settings tab. So here we have unsubscribed comment box. So when I click here on edit the footer, right here, you can then turn on and turn off the comments. So I have mine turned on as yes, because if someone does want to leave me a comment as to why they unsubscribed, I want to know. So you can turn it off if you wanted to. That way there's just going to be unsubscribe and you don't necessarily know the reason why. So that may be all you need. It's like, hey, I just want to unsubscribe. Okay, and be done. The other question here is, it seems like that we can only edit the details when a reader clicks update profile. Yes, that the update the profile, this is so that when someone wants to change information on their profile, this gives them the opportunity to. um, either change their name because they got married or divorced, or they change their email address because they moved from companies or wanted you to start sending to their home versus work, or vice versa. That's going to be where you can, remove the link from your footer. You can do this if you wanted to, and that way it's not going to display. But then you also don't necessarily give folks that opportunity. So that might be yeah, it might be another reason. Okay, so then we'd like to ask them why unsubscribing. So make sure that your comment box is on, and then ask them to pick the list that they want to unsubscribe from. Right now, what happens is when Constant Contact is getting an unsubscribe request, it's literally unsubscribing them from the account. So not necessarily from a particular list. So it may be one that you want to reach out to them if you have, if it's a few people, you want to be, cautious as to, how many, like if you're going to, you don't want to necessarily send them an email that says, why, can you tell us why you're unsubscribing? Because that's not necessarily an option. You'd need to kind of give them a call, and that way you can talk to them and say, is it too frequently, or, something like that. But really, unfortunately, that's the way that it's set up. That's the way that it is on that one. But you can customize, you can send another email that, says, hey, we'd love to update our records. Can you help us out? And then, you can do a survey that way and update their information too. So any other questions? Questions? All right, I'm going to go back here to this one here, and then I'm going to go to the thank you page, and we'll end this webinar on a thank you. Again, next week it's all about campaigns. So if you have any questions on campaigns, definitely send those to me, or definitely have them ready to go for the webinar. If you would like your campaign to be featured as the campaign makeover, send it to me, and then just say, hey, use my campaign to make over for next week, and I will do that for you. And that way you can kind of see a different option too. So any other questions? No other questions? Awesome. Thank you so much for being on the call today, and have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.